Hey traders, it's Shanice from Blush and Bullish. Today I want to go over today's trade, which is Monday, February 23rd, okay? Today was a sale day and I kind of want to go over how I figured out it was sales and what I do. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can learn what's outside. All right, so now before I get on, I like to start on the daily. I know a lot of people don't like to start there, but I start there because you never know. You can catch what's going on, okay? So what I like to do is mark my previous day highs, my previous day lows. I usually just do that by going to the daily, and then you can see here that you want to mark your previous candle wicks, the top and the bottom. Keep it simple. That's it. Now, from there, what I like to do is usually I kind of look at the 4 hour just to kind of see what's going on there, but I really usually like to mark up my chart on the 1 hour. Now, the 1 hour is just really just a map for me. To me, it just makes more sense for it to be like that. But anyway, so we marked our previous day high, previous day low. Those are the yellow lines that you see. And then from there, the first thing I noticed to see, okay, did we have a break of structure previously? Where are we at? Like, I like to look and see exactly where we are, just so that way I can decide on, okay, am I taking buys or am I taking sells? For me, what makes sense is that London builds a liquidity for New York. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But I immediately saw here, if we kind of look here, you can see that we got a break of structure right here, right? We got a break of structure here. That confirmed to me that, okay, I might want to look into sales because we did get a break of structure. What's going on right now looks like a pullback where you see those green candles going up. There's a pullback, okay? Now, so from there, I'm like, okay, let me drop down to the 15 minute just so that way I can look a little bit better at what's going on. And again, you can clearly see that that was a break of structure. So I'm gonna delete this candle because I don't want to confuse you. I mean, this line here, because I don't want to confuse you guys. But from there, I like to mark up my supply zones and my demand zones. Now, I don't mark up every single supply and every single demand. Reason being is because to me, it just doesn't make sense to do that. I want to catch the biggest move that I can for that day. And in order for you to do that, you wanna make sure that you are looking at what actually caused the move, okay? Right? So, immediately I noticed that on Friday, we had got a nice big push up, right? You can see that big long candle right in, let me mark this up. You can see this big, ooh, oh, wait. Sorry, I'm still trying to understand, you know, this thing. Where's the little arrow? Maybe if I should type it in. If I could spell arrow. Okay, so you can notice here on Friday that we had got a big push to the upside. Usually, most likely that was a manipulation candle because of news, right? But you have to remember that the way that the market works is that it always wants to get back to where it was previously, right? So I know for a fact that I want to draw out this this demand zone, because that is where price is going to want to eventually get to, okay? Now, the next thing I want to do is, because I am looking for sales, wait a second. We're going to go back to 7 o'clock. Okay. Sorry, I had to fix that because I don't want to confuse you guys. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is mark up my premium supplies and my premium demands. Now, what does that mean? I like to mark wherever I notice the big move. I can see on Friday that we had a nice, strong engulfing candle. That is definitely a strong demand zone, mainly because it was considered a manipulation candle. Manipulation candles are usually due to news. So I already knew that previously, so that's why I marked up this demand zone here. And you can see again that we had that nice strong, where that arrow is, we had that nice strong zone created. Okay, boom. Now my next thing is like, okay, so where is price most likely to take a supply down, right? Where would it make sense for the big banks or institutions to put in their orders? Now I can automatically see here that we have a, hold on, bear with me. I'm still trying to understand how to mark up this stuff here. So bear with me here. You can see here, right here, that this is a demand zone because this is where we put orders in. I don't worry about if there's gaps and stuff like that. Yes, eventually the market the market will need to fill in that gap, but don't let that determine how you are going to like take your, what's it called? Your trades, you know what I mean? You want to look at the market as a whole and go from there. So I noticed here that we had got that institutions put a lot of orders in right on this candle here, right? And the reason why I know that is because we got a nice big red engulfing candle, okay? So I know for a fact that price is most likely going to react off of this. So I know that price is most likely going to react off of this candle, mainly because you can see here that we got a nice engulfing candle, right? So it already had been determined that price wanted to go to the downside, right? Because we got that break of structure on the higher time frame. Remember on the 1 hour, we saw that we had got a break of structure, and that those candles in reference to that pullback, those green candles, it wasn't that we were in a bullish trend. It was mainly because it was a pullback. You really have to understand where exactly is the market and what is the market actually doing. This is going to help you determine how you're going to take your trade, so then that way you're not becoming a liquidity and you're not getting stopped out on your trades, okay? Anyway, so if I go back to the 15-minute, you can see here that yes, we almost tapped this zone, but not quite, okay? So I do know for a fact that that price is most likely going to react off of this zone to sweep liquidity here. Now, oh, wait. Now, I do notice that we have a zone right here, right? That orders were put in this area as well. So there is a demand zone here. Now, if price were to break through this zone right here, that lets me know that price most likely wants to get to here, because eventually it does, right? Eventually it wants to get to where that big move, what caused that bullish move up. However, we already confirmed on a higher time frame that price wants to go down, right? Because price is really trying to get to, again, the strong demand zone. Okay, so I don't want to bore you guys, so let's get into it. So what I'm going to do is show you guys exactly the trade that I took.